Yeah, and so this is a key moment as I've X'd out here, right, where she, sort of sets up, introduces her argument by, showing that it doesn't, what is a woman needs to be asked, that the question needs to be asked. The question has been asked over the courses of centuries, but it's generally been posed and answered by men and in a very specific and marginalizing way. And then in this part of the text, she'll go into this idea of the other. Okay, so the other is a key concept within philosophical investigation. It arises uh, primarily in the work of Hegel in the 19th century, and it's been very important for philosophies of difference in the post World War II era. So she's going to problematize this idea of the other. What is the other as a philosophical concept, as a theoretical concept, right? And she'll juxtapose that with the idea of the self, and then she'll show how these theoretical models or templates can be used as an investigative mechanism. So you want to, this is what I pointed out in the DB prompt. This is an area that you could look at, so if you want to go sort of philosophical here, hardcore philosophical, you want to use the text in that way. This is an area that you could investigate here, okay? And then here is where she starts to talk about how women, the category of women sort of stands outside traditional otherness or traditional otherization, right? So when they're philosophies of difference, if they're talking about a racial group or a class group or an ethnic group, right? They usually follows a certain logic, and here she's pointing out that women do not seem the category of women do not seem to follow this logic that in some way, shape, or form women are sort of essentialized others. They they've always been that way, and sort of they always will be. She seems to intimate, right, or it's like this seems to be the reality. How do you get beyond that? How do you investigate that?